Howdy everybody, thanks for watching today. I'm just going to jump right into today's video. So, what today's video is going to have to do with is having fun with your opiate taper. Suboxone, if you're doing some kind of painkillers, or God forbid if you're trying to taper off the heroin. I have no idea what that's like, but I'm sure it's just like any other opiate. So for me, I have kept record of every single day for over the last year, probably the last year. Before that, I was kind of all over the place with my records. So in your phone, just keep a note of every day, what you took, and how you felt. Any side effects that you hated about it. Just things to look back on to remind yourself of the hell you went through. For me, I remember just about a year ago was when I started doing it right. I started getting sick of trying to get Suboxone the wrong way through friends, and it was just becoming such a pain in the ass. And then all of a sudden I was flip-flopping. When I couldn't get Suboxone, I would have to go to Lortab or whatever else you were taking. So I just got so sick and tired of living that way, and the constant chase. So I finally did it right. I finally got sick of all that bullshit. I really wanted to get some help, so I did that. I started getting, I believe it was weekly counseling. I would go to my counselor every single week, and they would drug test me, which I loved that part, because that would keep you on the straight and narrow. And I would get the counseling every week, and then I would get like a monthly supply of Suboxone. So they started me off at 16 milligrams, which that would be a high dose for me, but I would still be able to do it, no problem. So they started me right off on that, and I kind of knew in the back of my head that I needed to stock up because I had a game plan to move out of state. And I didn't want to have to go through all the bullshit and start all the way back over and all that stuff in the next state. So I was really careful and not taking the full amount. I did the stockpile thing. I'm super glad I did that. I could have easily taken 16 milligrams a day and had a good old time. Being numb, I guess, is all you really get from that. So what I started doing immediately right from that point, and I wish I would have done this sooner with other stuff previous to Suboxone, especially like when I was in the worst of my addiction. When you spend a lot of money per month on pain medication. Wow, I wish I would have recorded those days and how much money I was blowing, because it was a decent, huge chunk. And I do remember thinking back on just about how much I was spending per month, and let's just say it was about double my mortgage payment at the worst. So, fuck that. Thank God I'm over that part of life, and that was the deepest, darkest part of my life by a long shot. So, anyways, on to the video here. So, once I got stable through getting my Suboxone legally, at that point I was really kind of able to get everything steady, and I just kept track of every day. So how I would do it is I would just put the date and then put the dose that you took, and then put whatever, if you felt good that day, if you felt horrible, if you felt foggy, if you felt constipated, if you're having migraines or nightmares, put all of that, the notes for that day, and then you have stuff to look at, and you can reflect back on how far you've come. And when I look at that list, all the time right now, because sometimes you get frustrated when things aren't going as fast as you want them to in your taper or jump process, and all you have to do is look back to, even when I look at 2-3 months ago, I'm amazed at how far I've come, and it really changes my attitude when I get upset, and I just know I'm so close to the finish line that I don't want to spoil it now. I want to keep going with the plan and do it right. So one thing I really love to do is try to let's say if you took 16 milligrams every day for the week, okay, total up your milligrams for the week and treat it like a game. That really, really helped me kind of enjoy the process of tapering. If you beat, kind of like I would say, okay, my best record for the lowest milligram per week is say 80 milligrams per week. I was like, okay, now I got to beat 80. So next week I would just try to get, have certain days that you would take 4 milligrams or 5 or 6 milligrams, whatever you think you could tolerate. Push through that day, and worst case scenario, you just take the rest of that dose. If for some reason you can't handle it, but I think you guys will be amazed how much you can push, especially if you really want to. If you just kind of want to get off, then you can just taper a little bit slowly over time, maybe over a year or so, and just get off easily that way, and not even think about it. But if you want to really push for it, you can get off this stuff in probably 2 months, 2 or 3 months. If you're above 8 milligrams, I'd say 2 or 3 months would be about the fastest I'd want to push it. It really just comes down to how hard you want to push through, how strong-willed you are, how motivated. If you've hit some kind of rock bottom, that's going to really make a difference on how fast you're able to taper off. So, but for me, okay, if I beat my previous week, or, I just pretty much try to keep chalking down, and it would be fun. I would kind of reward myself sometimes. If you beat the past week's record, or you beat the lowest record, then you would reward yourself. And that could be whatever. It could be a box of cookies, a freaking hamburger. It could be a new car. Fuck, I don't know. It depends on how much money you have and what you're used to rewarding yourself with. Take yourself out and buy a nice shirt, Just something to give you motivation to look forward to push through the hard times, because you'll psychologically, you'll kind of go through some turmoil in your head as you're tapering. Am I going through withdrawal right now? And that's just something that really helped me stay motivated, was to have something to look forward to if I could push through and beat that. And before you knew it, I beat that record. Oh, I slipped that week. I was like, and I felt like crap about it. So 2 steps forward, one step back was what I was experiencing. And then before you know it, you'd start having 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 4 steps forward, 1 step back, because you start to get used to the taper process, and you know what to expect. And each time you taper, you're just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna have an upset stomach for a night or 2, and maybe a little bit of restlessness in my sleep. That, for me, those were the only 2 things that really start happening once I do my taper. Everything else is fine. It really is. So that's kind of it, guys. Today, I just wanted to say that's something that really helped me taper, is keep track of the dose, keep track of how you felt, and reward yourself for improving, because you deserve it. This is no easy task for anybody, and if you have to reward yourself a little bit to motivate yourself, that is one of the best ways, especially if you're like a money motivated type of person. You can do it something with money, or take yourself out on a date, or whatever the hell it is. You know I'm going with this. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you can use this as some sort of motivation. Maybe just use this idea in your taper process. It can only get easier. Every time you get used to each taper, it just gets easier and easier. You just get so much more used to the process. The first couple tapers, you're really kind of worried about, and you think it's way worse than it is. Looking back, I'm just laughing at how I thought some of the things were me going through withdrawals. It was literally just mostly like 95% was in my head. You barely have any uncomfortable stuff happen as you're tapering. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.